Hey everyone, it's Roxy Horror here, back again. I am doing my review of Overlord. So this movie was very enjoyable for me. I really had a fun time with once it got into the horror part of it, I really enjoyed it. I would like to start off this review by saying that this review contains spoilers. So if you want to see this movie, please go out and watch it first and then come back and watch this video and hear what I have to say about it. So overall, this movie was very enjoyable. I had a great time watching it. There were just some things that didn't really work for me, and I'll go into that when we get to those parts, but for the most part, loved the movie, loved everything that went on in it. I thought it was very creative. So we're just gonna go into that about what I liked. I loved how the zombies or whatever were created through a serum that was created by Nazi scientists. I thought that was so cool. And like it basically helps bring people back to life, give them strength. And then they become like killing machines through the serum. But when the one guy, the first time someone actually starts turning, oh my God, that was amazing. I loved that scene when he was like, contorting and like his spine was all messed up and like, dude, it was just so cool. And I really loved the special effects that went into it. It was great. The whole sequence when they're in the underground lab, I had so much fun with. They kind of paid homage to like a bunch of different movies. Like they impaled the one guy, what's his name? Ford. They impaled him on a meat hook. And it was just kind of like, oh my God. Texas Chainsaw, let's go. And then there like all of the people that the townspeople that had the Nazi experiments on them kind of reminded me of like, I don't know, it was a little Frankensteinish, a little if you, I don't know, a little Tusk maybe, like trying to change people into different, whatever, different looking things. But it was very cool. Yeah, the underground lab scene, man, that was just, it was great. And then seeing like, and this goes into another thing that I like, but seeing Ford's character development was, it was really nice. It was just, because in the beginning, he's just this, like, tough leader, and then, like, as it goes later on into the film, he kind of develops, he doesn't really have a soft side, per se, but he develops a more caring attitude towards the people that are in his unit. And I really enjoyed seeing that. And it kind of reminded me of the Dawn of the Dead remake, where, you have the security guard that's like all hard and whatever. And then all of a sudden he like, goes and like dies for his team essentially. And this is what happens to Ford. And he uses the serum to finally like beat this. I don't even know how to explain him. He is like this superhuman, like killing machine that has experiments on him from from the Nazi scientists and stuff like that. It was very interesting. And then he like beats him, and then they're all, leaving, and he ends up having to stay because he's turning. Which was kind of sad. It wasn't like a funny thing like in the Dawn of the Dead remake where he's like, figures, It was more of like I can't join you kind of thing. And everybody was really sad, and then they blew up the lab. And I love how it ends where like what's his name? Boyce? Where he's like telling he's telling them that Ford, he gives credit to him, says Ford, like, put all the bombs in there, and, like, gave credit to him, even though Ford was, like, against it initially, and that he, like, blew up the lab and everything like that, and he said... But he didn't say that there was a lab. He was like, oh yeah, there's nothing going on there, so we should just move on to somewhere else. And like, it's very interesting that he didn't explain the lab any further, but I'm sure he didn't want to go back. So I probably would have done the same thing. I probably would have been like, yeah, there's nothing down there. Don't worry about it. Even though they blew it up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But, I loved the ending and the fact that he was like, yeah, nothing's going on down there. We're good. I love that the setting was during a war. I really enjoyed that. World War II. Jeez, that's a mouthful. But yeah, so I liked that it was set during war, although I'm going to go into that a little later. I do enjoy the fact that it's different. It's very original. And the fact that zombies were created by Nazis. I feel like that whole entire concept is very original. So I enjoyed that portion of it. Now I'm going to go into what I disliked. I'm not a big war movie person. I'm probably going to shoot myself in the foot here by saying that, but it's just not my thing. I've never really been into it. It's just, I don't know. It's just kind of meh for me. There are some war movies that I do enjoy. There's about 3 of them that I really enjoy, but other than that, I'm not big into it. So the beginning of the movie was kind of slow for me. It was kind of boring. I was just watching battles and, planes go down and whatever. And then they get into the neighborhood or the town, and the townspeople have all these, whatever going on with their faces or whatever from Nazi scientists. And that's when I was like, oh God, is this gonna be the movie? I wasn't very interested in that. The townspeople, it just, I was like, is this the zombies? Like, this is more Frankenstein, and it wasn't really my kind of thing. But then they started doing the serum, and that's when I was like, oh, whoa, this is not what I was expecting. So it kind of turned me back around from my initial opinion of the movie, which was that it was just going to be like an unbelievable war movie that involved Nazi experiments, which, I mean, it did, but it was a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. So, yeah. Overall, I gave this movie a 4.1 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I had a good time, except for the beginning, which, I mean, don't judge a book by its cover. I kept watching it because I was like, I was about to judge the movie, and then all of a sudden the turning scene came, and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be fun. And it was. It turned out to have a great second half. The ending was badass, and yeah, I had fun with it. So yeah, 4.1 out of 5. If you have any thoughts on this movie, Overlord, please let me know in the comments. Please be nice. Like, I understand that we all have our own opinions, but yeah, just, be respectful about them. And if you like my content, if you like Casey's content, please hit that subscribe button. It is free, and if you want to get alerts, then hit that little bell, and it'll give you some alerts on when we post our stuff. Other than that, please comment, like our videos. It helps us get our content out there a little more. And also look forward to our podcast. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music. So if you're interested, head over there and listen to us talk about horror stuff. In the meantime, we're going to be on YouTube doing a bunch of videos, so you have us here too. So yeah, stay spooky, guys, and we'll see you for the next review.